in the work of some other local people, as well as I think he read some Bob Dylan and can't remember who else, but I don't know if he read Kerouac. But I ended up creating 4 pieces, and one of the things that I do is with them is rather than go in having an idea of what I'm going to paint, I kind of take in the information. It's the same thing when I do, like this piece here was painted to a death metal band. I kind of take in the information and try to basically, however that feels, I try to externalize that. So without being too judgmental, I don't ever try to think it's more about just trying to get it down or whatever. So sometimes it's hit or miss. This was probably one of my favorite pieces, and then this one actually is probably the most exhausting. I just tried to basically record a lot of the words using pastels.
This is the one that I saw you doing.
It was a lot of up and down on my knees, and and it was just trying to keep up. It's crazy when you hear someone read live, and then you're trying to write a word here real quick, and then down here, this back and forth, different colors, but it's fun in the end because you never know exactly how.
And this you kind of did the same thing with the words, I see.
Kind of, yeah. What happened is I started out with, and you can faintly see behind, there's chalk and pastel in areas, and because it was something probably in the last year that I started to do, is just to kind of warm up my arms to get a movement, because it's easy to paint over those if need be. So I started off with that, and then I started incorporating paint, and then I actually, a lot of times I'll abandon the brush, which I did there, and just started using my hands.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of this
hands on, literally.
Yeah, and then go back with actually a house paint scraper, and then start scraping and writing some of the words and whatnot. It's fun for me. It's not. To me, when I do these type of pieces, it's actually not about having this like end idea when I create it, but it's more about the process of what's going on and the connection between, be it me and the poet or the musicians or whoever it is. It's like having that moment and enjoying that moment. And however it looks in the end, to me, it really doesn't matter. If it comes out cool, that's cool. But if it doesn't, that's fine too, because it's about the process. So.
And the experience.
Yeah, and it's cool too, because I don't think a lot of people get to see that when, especially the general public. We see a piece and it's a finished piece, and they don't see all of the work the artist puts into it, and how exhausting sometimes it could be or whatnot.
Like when I first saw this one, I didn't see the wolf.
Yeah.
But now I do.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I didn't go in at plan on painting a wolf for that, and definitely didn't think he'd be blue, but it's just one of those things that just kind of develops, and you get a sense of something. You start with you feel like a color or a line or whatnot, and it's just one thing develops to the next, and next thing you know, you have this piece at the end. So
it's just like the one with the scarecrow. I didn't know that it was a scarecrow until I came back and saw it again. That's cool. And this is another one that you did with music?
Yeah, and that was another one. That was to another death metal band. I'll paint the jazz, country, whatever.
Do you know the bands? Do you even remember the bands?
Oh, man. I've done some. I'm trying to think. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of who. Psycho might have been that one. I can't remember. I have them written down somewhere. That's the other thing, too, is I start doing so many different paintings or collaborations, I kind of forget.
Psychosis? Or no?
No.
No.
But even I try. The other thing too is like when I'm collaborating with these poets is, oftentimes, work might consist of 5 or 6 individuals reading, and if I do throughout the course of a night, if I do 5 to 6 paintings, I kind of forget. So I try to document it. One of the things we did last time is we did a live stream at the show, which was kind of cool. We've recorded sometimes where we've recorded and gone to play it and it actually didn't play back. So we've had that issue too where the cameras kind of overheat, but trying to document that, but I'm a little bad on that, I guess.
I really like this one too.
That was, yeah, if you knew what it was. Damage, but it's actually, that's a print that I actually went back and actually did some brush work and drawing on.
Really? It's cool.
The individual's not having a good time. No. It's not
Really? It's not a good picture?
No.
But I like it.
Yeah.
It's drawn to me.
It actually, that's partially, that figure screaming is actually those beads. I did a whole series years ago where I did these paintings, and I did them in a primitive type of style to almost look like they were done a long time ago. To almost look like they could be like cave paintings or something, like really rough. And I basically what I did is I put them in situations where they were getting tortured or under extreme pain or whatnot. It stemmed actually from a childhood dream that I had where I was getting eaten
wow.
by these individuals. So I think like a lot of good people, you know, you cope and you try to figure a way to do something. So I started creating these drawings and sculptures where they were getting tortured and maimed and all types of
That's
things.
deep.
Well, probably disturbing. Some people may not know. But,
Deep and disturbing.
but I do, you know, it's kind of funny though too, because I think like there's a lot of people like, you know, it's not everything. So I do a lot of light and I do a lot of dark stuff. You know, I think.
Well, it's a balance.
I think Eastern philosophy for me has had a huge impact on my art. Yin and yang, good and bad, light and dark. I like very dark stuff, or I like very bright stuff. So it's like those two extremes. So
That's really cool.
I think it's important, you know, to express not just the dark side of oneself, but also the light side. You know, I think if we focus too much on the light, we tend to forget that there's the dark, and if we focus too much on the dark, you know, we get too consumed with that and we forget there's the light side. So,
Yeah.
you know, for me, it's kind of important to go back and forth and explore both those sides equally.
Balance.
Yeah, balance. Absolutely.
How would someone contact you guys for space, like to rent space, showcase their art?
They can reach out to us if they're online on any social media platforms or that. They can message us through the Fine Arts Council of Trumbull County or fact page, or they could actually call Adam, Adam Gregory, who is the director of the Fine Arts Council, and I do not have his number on hand. I just told him I needed someone for his cards. But
I'll
his information
find it.
is online.
I'll find it, yeah.
And we have a website with our information, email, phone numbers, and those type of things. They could always stop down here, 180 North Park. And you know, we're here if someone from the Fine Arts Council isn't here, someone's often here working. We have a doorbell, or they can contact any of the individuals in this space, and they'd be more than happy to assist them. That's one of the cool things too, is a lot of the artists will go out of their way to help assist people and give any information that they might want. So
That's very cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you,
Thank
James,
you.
for
Thank you,
coming,
Raven.
for meeting me
Yeah.
and showing me around. And you guys should come check this out. It's pretty cool. I know I've enjoyed myself in meeting James and Adam Gregory and hearing everything about the Fine Arts Council. And think 2016 was pretty cool. Glad I got to make it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Signing out. Stay tuned. Bye, guys.